Welcome back to the Candid podcast, beautiful people. This is your host, Isabelo Pasquale. Happy American Independence Day. I'm celebrating the 4th of July at the Park's Finest, a Los Angeles gem for Filipino-American fusion-style barbecue. As a mixed-race Filipino-Haitian-American, where else would be a more appropriate place for me to have some barbecue today? Today's 9th Golden Nugget is on independence and the fighting spirit. The tenets of the Founding Fathers and the American dream began with Thomas Jefferson's original rough draft quote. We hold these truths to be sacred and undeniable, that all men are created equal and independent, that from that equal creation they derive rights, inherent and inalienable, among which are the preservation of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This opening stanza, regardless of the contradictions of the author having possessed slaves or the proclivities of the other founding fathers, when held up by the merits of the syntax or the intention, the ideal of the 13 colonies fostered a safe haven for the outliers of Western Europe. Be you Quaker, not Catholic, colonist, not Hessian, opportunist, not old world conformist. They came over the pond for that dream. Then, with the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, restrictions on non-European immigrants were lifted, allowing the modern American landscape to form these past few generations, including Americans such as myself, descendants of conquered peoples from 100 years ago, whose ancestors were afforded the opportunity to migrate to this country and have their children who, ideally, would grow up to be productive and outstanding American citizens. So many people, regardless of how many generations their families lived here, or fresh migrants, take the American dream for granted and disregard the sacrifices their parents made to afford the comforts and opportunities available to them. Though, let's be realistic. Of course, not everybody has the same privileges. What do convicts, illegal immigrants, and college dropouts have in common? They aren't afraid to get their hands dirty in pursuit of their independence, especially in this economy in 2024. Whether it be by choice or by necessity, many go the entrepreneurial route and leverage their specialized skills when all other doors have closed on them. It's also an act of rebellion to be a nonconformist. You're not working a 9 to 5. You're not falling into that tribal, familial expectations. No, you're actively doing your own thing. That in itself is an act commemorating the Founding Fathers' American dream. Yes, these principles apply to Protestant white men of the top echelons of the 13 colonies. Historically savvy people are aware of the blood-sodden treatment of the indigenous, African, Oriental, Irish, Latin American, and Eastern European minority castes. There's no dispute there. Clearly, I'm one of them. However, modern Americans have adapted and appropriated those beliefs to turn shit into gold. Again, ideally, the reality is being braved daily, with natural opposition from those who refuse to compromise or consider the other side for the greater good of the whole. The 4th of July, or American Independence Day, celebrates private citizens taking a stand and fighting for their convictions. That is the meaning behind this holiday. Liberals and conservatives have understandably conflicting views of history and guilt. I observe Independence Day for the ideals of the Founding Fathers. My Haitian ancestors fought and defeated the French Empire, becoming the modern Western world's most successful slave rebellion and emancipating themselves. But that's just part of the story. I won't get into American intervention or the debt France and America imposed onto Haiti for centuries, devastating that country. It's a mess which needs to be stated, as no country or entity is without sin. That being said, the so-called triumvirate of Hispaniola, the 13 colonies, and France's private citizens taking their destinies into their own hands served as the benchmark and catalyst for independence globally. In that regard, we are celebrating private citizens and their fighting spirits. Don't forget the power that you have in your own hands today. Thank you for tuning into this golden nugget of the Candid Thoughts podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, please consider donating to the Patreon, purchasing some BizReb Apparel, or supporting my businesses. What is BizReb? BizReb, noun, a business rebel. If you're all about doing your own thing, have the entrepreneurial spirit, then you too are a BizReb. Celebrate that drive with the bold and stylish BizReb Apparel line available in sand or noir as a sweatshirt or t-shirt. Purchase links are below in the description. We stake our claim, we take what's ours, we will have what we deserve. Thank you.